Hi guys, Pete here from Ashton's Cars. Today we're looking around the 65 plate Peugeot 2008 or 2008 depending on how you prefer to pronounce it. This is quite a high spec model, it's the Allure. It's a 1.2 litre VTI engine. Very impressive little engine actually, 109 horsepower, 1.2 litre 3-cylinder with a turbocharger, and I've been quite impressed by how it drives. I'm actually using this car currently myself. When we go inside it in a second, you'll note that I've got a phone holder and a few other bits in the car. And I wanted to do this quick video of it because I've just had it all washed off before I use it again. I've just come out of my C-Class Mercedes. I sold it, and I needed something a bit quick to get in that had sat-nav, telephone, DAB radio, and a few other little bits that I had on the Mercedes, and this came along just at the right moment. If I'm being honest, I wasn't expecting to be particularly blown away with it because my C-Class Coupe was a very, very nice car, and as you can appreciate, probably a lot more expensive than this particular car. I've also, been running a Range Rover Vogue lately, but when I jumped into the Peugeot 2008, I was actually quite impressed. It's got the same level of equipment I had on the Mercedes. It's got this nice SUV styling to it. It's not four-wheel drive, but it's got a clever traction control system, which makes it quite good at handling sort of tricky terrain and sort of snow and ice. And it's a very comfortable car to drive. It's a nice size as well, this really. Obviously, 2008, you think, is it a 208 size? I'd say it's more along the lines of something like a Suzuki S-Cross sized car. It's sort of comparable, I suppose, with a Golf. But you've got a huge estate back on it. It's got a panoramic roof. It's got these rather nice diamond cut alloy wheels. It does look a pretty cool car. You might notice the chrome mirror caps as well. I mean, it does sort of cut a dash, I think, really. Chrome caps, black roof with a satin silver finish here on these rather nice roof rails. I like all this stuff, and I like this car. And that's coming from someone who is normally a bit of a car snob, has Mercedes, Range Rovers, that type of vehicle. I'm actually quite impressed with the little Peugeot at the minute. So, I'm jumping behind the wheel. I'm going to show you a couple of things on the car, and one of the reasons that I've chose to use this car myself at the moment. But not least of that, I mean, the fact it's only £20 a year for me to tax this car, which is great. So, let's have a quick look inside. Nice, clean interior. Half leather. I'll jump in behind the wheel so you can have a proper look at the dashboard. One thing that strikes you as a little bit different on these Peugeots compared to other cars is that the stereo is actually the dashboard, sorry, is actually above the steering wheel. It's got quite a small steering wheel, this car has, and that means that the instruments are actually visible above it, which is quite nice. It makes it very clear. And it means the dials are very big on this particular car, which looks great. It's got a big touch screen here, which has got the DAB stereo and a few other bits on it. Let's just get this mounting of keys out of my pocket because I know there's a key for this in here somewhere. And we'll start it up. Right, just do the quick startup sequence on the car. Let's just turn that down a second so you can hear it. So there she is. As you can see, it's got cruise control paused at the moment. The car's got cruise and a speed limiter on it. I've got my phone system here, that's plugged in at the moment. But if I go to the menu, you can see I've got several things on here, including the internet on it. I've got a media system on here as well. DAB stereo was one of the things that I really wanted on the car. I've got the driving modes and stuff like that on there. Various sort of things I can pull up about the car, but it's a pretty sort of simple system really to use. It hasn't got navigation built in on this one. That was one of the things that I would normally have wanted, but I've been using my Google Maps on my phone and that's working just as well anyway. So do you really need a sat nav in a car these days when everyone's got Google Maps? Probably not. Google Maps and Waze tend to be the better systems anyway than they put in any car. But the DAB radio I love. I think once you're used to having your DAB stations, you probably would want that, and I've kind of got a bit spoilt with my previous cars. And obviously the telephone system is an absolute must, and I like this one because I can actually bring up call lists and stuff like that on the car, and it's really easy to scroll through them. and basically know what I'm doing while I'm on the go, because my car's like a mobile office at times. Now, one thing that I haven't had before on a car is this. It looks a little bit like the system that you get on a Discovery or a Range Rover. It's a two-wheel drive car, this is, though, but I've got it set in the normal mode at the moment. I can actually turn this dial and have it in a sort of snow and ice setting if I want to, adapted snow mode, or I could have it on, there we go, adaptive drive for mud. Obviously I don't need any of this today because we're in the normal sort of roads of South Wales, so the normal mode is quite good. But nice little feature that, I think, on a car of this type. It's not something that I've seen a lot of before. Got loads of storage space, including a massive cubby hole by here, good sized door bins, and a nice glove box on this particular car as well. And I've got 2 cup holders ahead of me, so it's nice and easy to use. It is a 5-speed manual, this particular one. And one thing I do like on it is this huge panoramic roof, which on a nice day like today looks great. At night, it's actually got blue LED lighting that comes down these strips as well, which looks really cool. Matches the blue that you can see there around the instrument, so it looks like that. So the interior of the car is very, very cool indeed. The seats are quite generously proportioned. I actually feel comfortable in here, even compared to a Merc or a Range Rover. And I've got dual climate control. Basically, I've got everything I want in a car, everything I had on my C-Class. I don't think there is anything that I haven't got. So I'm literally not missing anything, which is making it a lot easier to deal with the loss of my beloved C-Class, because I really love that car. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this particular machine. It's a very, very nice car indeed, and that 1.2 engine is surprisingly brisk, and that's, as I say, coming from someone who's been driving a 4.4 litre Range Rover with the twin turbo diesel, and also an AMG spec Mercedes. So I was quite impressed to get into a little 3-cylinder Peugeot and it be quite as performancey and as punchy as it is. But I'll give it a rev for you. I don't know if you can really hear that through the phone, but it's got a nice rasp to it, that engine has. We're only 64,000 miles on the clock as well. It's not really done a lot of work. So yeah, nice altogether. Just a very, very pleasant place to be inside this Peugeot. So step back outside. Just want to show you the rear of the car very quickly. Plenty of room in here, as you can see. It's got the free inertia seat belt in the back. It's reasonably well spec'd. It's got electric windows, and it's got a charger socket in the rear compartment as well for you. And you've still got door bins as well, which are nicely sized if you want to put sort of drinks in them and stuff. So quite a good sort of size in the rear. And then, best of all, this huge boot. Absolutely huge, because you've got all this height as well. So massive load space for a car that's, you know, not much bigger than a Golf really. You've probably got more space in that than you have in most cars a class above this. So there you have it. I think this will appeal to people who are after perhaps a hatch with a large boot, because it has got estate car credentials essentially. It's somewhere in between an estate, a normal hatch, and a traditional SUV, this car is. It seems to tick all the boxes for most people. So if you're looking for something that's economical but not going to be short on space, not going to be short on practicality, it's very, very impressive and very tempting, I think, to buy one of these. If this one's of interest to you, it's now available, and you can turf me out of my car once again, which tends to happen every time I put one on. It's the first thing we sell, the one I'm driving. Give me a call, 07932 873 646. Please obviously give us a like, share, subscribe to our channel. You'll get more videos like this, and you'll be kept abreast of what stock we have coming in. In the meantime, guys, I'll leave you with a shot of our Peugeot, and my number one more time is 07932 873 646. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a great day.